but I do want to go ahead and get the program started, and we have two things to do. One briefly to start, and then the main event really is to present and acknowledge the recipients of this year's May Holmes Service Awards. Before I do that, I want to spend just 1 minute to talk about the Reapy family sabbatical. As I think most people, if not everybody, most people know that every year Gilman is fortunate enough to provide one teacher with the opportunity to go on sabbatical for half a school year, essentially a semester, the second half of the school year. And this opportunity was created in 1999 by Mr. and Mrs. James S. Reapy. And the purpose was to reward consistent excellence in teaching and to promote continuing education and development of the faculty. And the fund allows one faculty member per year to have a semester sabbatical at full pay plus a stipend for travel and related expenses. Upper, middle, and lower school faculty members are eligible if they've been on the Gilman faculty for at least 7 years and are full-time status. Proposals are submitted and reviewed, and today it is my pleasure to announce that next year's Reapy Sabbatical Award winner is David Anderson. David will have he will be obligated to, not just have the chance to present his sabbatical in an assembly next year and with the Reapy family. Just in a nutshell, he is going to travel abroad to study art with a former teacher and current mentor and colleague who is in Finland, to study art with him and reconnect with him, and also teach and do some more research and reporting on some of the diversity work in art that David has done and some of us have seen already. So a great opportunity for him. Very excited, and David, again, congratulations. So now I get to get out of the way. It's my pleasure to turn things over to Mitch Ford, class of 1982 and parent of Mitchie, who's the class of 16, if I'm doing the math right, sophomore, class of 16. Mitch, who's here now, has had the great misfortune of introducing me at various alumni events around the country, up and down the East Coast over the last year or so. Mitch is the president of the Alumni Association currently, and so as we've gone on to alumni gatherings around the country, Mitch has been introducing me, which is tough work. So like I said, it's now my pleasure to reverse that role, to introduce Mitch, who will take things over from here. So thank you, Mitch.
It's only difficult to introduce Henry because the resume is so long. So thank you all for joining us this afternoon. We're here to honor two of the Gilman faculty. We've got Coach Foreman and Mr. C. And first I'd like to welcome the incredible women behind the men. We have Marjorie Foreman, Mr. Foreman's wife, and Susan Culbertson, Gordy's wife. And we also like to welcome your families here to join us for this very special presentation. The excellence of the faculty and staff here at Gilman is without question Gilman's greatest strength. And I know I speak for every alumnus here when I say, and every alumnus that's out there, when I say we are so thankful for all you do to preserve and continue the very high quality Gilman education. Thank you all again for being here today, and thank you very much for being here every day of the school year. For those of you who don't know, the May Holmes Service Award was created in 1981 by the Alumni Association to honor people in the Gilman community who have distinguished themselves in service to the school. Last year, we determined to honor the May Holmes Service Award to recipients at a professional development day, giving us the opportunity to honor each and every faculty and staff member, as well as allow our recipients the chance to celebrate with their colleagues. Because of some scheduling oddities last year, we weren't able to present the 2013 award, which lets us mark a double celebration today. Without ado, I am pleased to introduce the recipient of the 2013 May Holmes Service Award. As many of you know, Johnnie Foreman is a native Baltimorean, a graduate of Morgan State University, and began his education career in 1974 as a Baltimore City school teacher before transitioning to independent schools and here at Gilman in 1984. What you may not know about Johnnie is that he is an extremely accomplished musician who spent 11 years as the trombone player for Sound Experience. And it was a funk band, being in the 1970s. And the group opened up for and played with major musicians in groups like Earth, Wind and Fire, The Temptations, Delphonics. I'd love to see a picture of Coach Foreman in one of his stage get-ups. Love it. So it's probably fair to say that Johnnie's love of music provides a certain rhythm, a cool kind of beat to the soundtrack of his life here at Gilman. He's the school's first associate athletic director, and he became the head outdoor track coach in 1988. He has since coached 9 championship seasons. Because of his efforts, indoor track became an MIAA-sanctioned sport in the late 1990s. He is a fixture on the football coaching staff. He came here to teach middle school biology. Today, he teaches African American literature in the upper school. This past February, Johnnie received the NAIS Diversity Leadership Award, which celebrates outstanding independent school leaders who have worked to advance diversity and inclusivity on a national and/or international scale. This award truly culminates Johnnie's decades of dedication to diversity, creating inclusiveness, and building welcome and safe school communities for each student at Gilman and every independent school in the nation. He began working on diversity initiatives with Bill Green on a citywide educational project called Upward Bound. He is Gilman's first and only Director of Community and Diversity, and he is the current Chair of Diversity Committee of the Association of Maryland and DC Independent Schools, former Local Student Diversity Leadership Conference Chair, past co-chair of the Baltimore POCC, an NAIS Call to Action Committee member, and a Diversity Leadership Institute facilitator. Last June, he received the Rays of Hope honor from the Black Professional Men organization. Therefore, it fits that the Alumni Association would add to all of Johnnie's many accolades. With great cheer, pleasure, and appreciation, I present the 2013 May Holmes Service Award to Johnnie L. Foreman, Jr. I want to say that the plaque reads, May Holmes Service Award presented with grateful appreciation to Johnnie L. Foreman Jr., by the Alumni Association, April 21st, 2014.
Thank you. You don't want to see those pictures. That's when I had hair on the waistline, of which neither exists any longer. I really like to say thank you to the Alumni Association for this particular award, more so because I came in after May Holmes was here, and I heard so many things about her, and to be associated with that, it's just an honor. It's also a great pleasure to stand in front of my colleagues who I work with every day, and you are very dear to my heart. You don't know that. I don't say that a lot, but very dear to my heart. So I really appreciate this, and I don't know what else to say, but thank you. Thank
you. Okay. The recipient of the 2014 May Holmes Service Award is Gordan L. Culbertson. A great teacher inspires his students to achieve beyond their potential and reach academic heights. A fantastic teacher inspires a love of life in every aspect of the students' lives. Academically, athletically, artistically. An unforgettable teacher continues to inspire and teach a student long after he leaves that teacher's classroom. Gordan Culbertson is an unforgettable teacher. Affectionately referred to as Mr. C, Gordan's career in education spans 45 years. 17 of those spent teaching in Gilman's middle school. Gordan, who holds a BA at Towson University and a Master's in Education at Rutgers University, taught in Baltimore County Public Schools before his brother, former middle school head Ron Culbertson, enticed Gordan to come join him and teach math here at Gilman. What makes Mr. C unforgettable? Is it his uncanny ability to make even the most complicated mathematical concepts easy? Is it his propensity to acknowledge what may seem to the casual observer as nothing special, but to him a significant moment in the life of a boy? How many times has he called to inform an advisee's parents about a particular play made on the intramural football field? Or that their son showed leadership by showing kindness to a fellow student? Is it the rite of passage of playing Colby Says at the 6th grade sleepover? Or his jokes and subtle ribbing of other faculty members as he celebrates the boys' accomplishments by organizing and orchestrating the student raffles and auctions that are a time-honored middle school tradition? Mr. C is truly unforgettable. Gordan's professionalism and classroom expertise, as well as his guidance and mentoring, influence his colleagues as well. Even after more than 4 decades in the classroom, Gordan can be found working with his colleagues on the art of teaching, conversing about which approaches and techniques most impact our students. His infectious enthusiasm, sense of humor, outrageous laugh, and love for Gilman and teaching middle school boys draw students, parents, and teachers into his classrooms. Everyone has a Mr. C story or memory of a particular Halloween costume that brings a smile to their face or a chuckle to their heart. For the Culbertsons, teaching is a family affair. His sons, Keith and Kevin, both Gilman alum, are teachers, honoring their father's life's passion. His wife, Sue, has tutored countless middle and upper school boys in the nuances of algebra and trigonometry. With such teaching genes, we anxiously await to see what profession his grandchildren, Penny, Evie, Tyler, and one on the way in 10 days or so, see what they choose. We can only be so lucky if they pick up the metaphorical piece of chalk as well. So it is with great pleasure and pride that we award the 2014 May Holmes Service Award to Gordan L. Culbertson. Special appreciation to Gordan L. Culbertson by the Alumni Association, April 21st, 2014.
Mr. Foreman, congratulations, sir. It's a pleasure being here with you. Mr. Ford, I was a little bit disappointed that you didn't mention that I played clarinet in the marching band at Culbertson in high school. When Mr. Ford called me, I was just delighted. I feel like I knew some things about Miss Holmes, but have found out a bunch about her since then. I'm going to share a few of those things with you. She arrived at Gilman in 1916 and worked for Gilman for 62 years. One of twin sisters born in 1893 during a Roanoke raging winter before the time of incubators, her wise grandmother placed the twins in the oven to keep them warm. Miss Holmes is quoted as saying, "It's why they say I'm half-baked." In 1924, Miss Holmes became secretary to Headmaster Morrow. From 32 to 33, the Depression hit Gilman hard. She reported there was no wait list that year, and our student body was down to 261. From 43 to 63, she was secretary to Headmaster Callard. By that time, she was doing every job here at Gilman. I made a list of some of them, Pam, just so you could hear all the things she did. She handled all general correspondence, transcripts. She established and coordinated the school calendar. She calculated all student averages, and she kept up-to-date files on all Gilman grads. Mr. Callard said, "Miss Holmes has been at the center of every program we ever started at Gilman and is simply indispensable." She retired in '63, but in 1965, decided to unretire and take care of Headmasters Baldwin and Finney. When asked if she ever yearned to work with female students, she responded, "Boys are so much easier to handle. Besides, they're more practical." There was only one job that she didn't enjoy doing. She didn't like handing out demerits. She didn't like having to tell the boys what their responsibility was for having accrued those demerits. She passed away in 1986 at the age of 93. Ms. Holmes, I want you to know that Gilman is still going strong with wonderful boys, a dedicated staff, a fine administration, and teachers who love what they do. Ms. Holmes, I'm happy to tell you that we have many fine young educators who are devoted to this profession and are establishing their own legacy of teaching excellence. Joya, Kim, Bryn, Hannah, Millie, Robbie, Rick, and Hugh, thank you so much for choosing teaching. Since this is an award presented by the alumni, I want to introduce you to my two favorite Gilman alumni. This is my son, Kevin. He teaches at Franklin Elementary School. He has to go back to work tomorrow, sorry. This is my daughter-in-law, Andrea, Keith's wife, and my grandbaby, Evie, finished before the pen. Nice job, Chrissy. Nice job. Next to Kevin is my daughter-in-law, Tina Culbertson, and sitting patiently and quietly is Tyler. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks for that smile, huh? The next Gilman grad. As you heard, in 1986, the year Miss Holmes passed, that's when Ron called me. He said he thought I might enjoy working here. Yes, he was right. Now I've been teaching for 45 years, but it doesn't mean anything if your best friend isn't at your side all the time. You know that Sue still asks me every day, Jeff, every day when I come home, Sue says to me, "How was your day?" I'm happy to tell you that 99.5% of the time my answer is, "It was great." Thank you all very much.
It's so nice to put real people to what have just for me been photographs on a tie for so long. So, just the children here. That concludes our ceremony for today. Thanks to everybody for being here.